1. Japan utilizes a unique chronological system. Unlike the Gregorian calendar, widely adopted globally and based on the birth of Jesus Christ, Japan's system is rooted in the reigns of its emperors. Each emperor's ascension marks the beginning of a new era, with the current era, Reiwa, commencing in 2019 upon Emperor Naruhito's accession. The era name changes, and the year count restarts with each new reign. While the Gregorian calendar is commonly used in everyday life, official documents predominantly adhere to the Japanese imperial era system. This dual system reflects a blend of modern international practice and the deep-rooted historical significance of the imperial lineage. 2. The majority of mountains in Japan are privately owned. This includes iconic landmarks like Mount Fuji, which is privately held by a Shinto shrine located at its base. While approximately 20% of Japan's landmass is state-owned, the remaining land is largely under private ownership, encompassing individual citizens, corporations, and religious institutions. Consequently, accessing many mountain areas for activities such as mushroom foraging is restricted without explicit permission from the landowner. This private ownership is especially prevalent in rural areas, where families often maintain generational ties to specific mountain parcels. 3. Many Japanese families possess a unique hereditary crest, known as keimin. These emblems, diverse in design and symbolic meaning, were historically used to distinguish family lineage and social standing. The imperial family, for instance, uses a chrysanthemum crest. Keimin are frequently incorporated into kimonos, household decor, and other personal items, serving as visual representations of family heritage and identity. While their practical significance has lessened in modern times, keimin remain important symbols of lineage and tradition. 4. The traditional Japanese family structure often involved a clear distinction between the main family and branch families. Primogeniture dictated that the eldest son inherited the family's head of household status, property, and responsibilities, becoming the honki. Younger sons established separate branch families, often maintaining close ties to and under the authority of the honki. This system, while less prevalent today, significantly impacted inheritance, social standing, and family dynamics. While the concept of honki and bunk are less strictly adhered to now, it still subtly influences family dynamics and inheritance matters in some families. 5. On-street parking in Japan is heavily restricted and illegal in most areas. This stringent policy is a key factor in maintaining the cleanliness and orderliness of Japanese streets. Purchasing a vehicle typically requires proof of secured parking space, be it private or rented. This regulation, while sometimes inconvenient, greatly contributes to the efficiency and aesthetics of urban environments. This contributes to a higher degree of public transportation reliance and less traffic congestion. 6. Japan's diverse geography results in a wide range of climates. Extending from subarctic northern regions to subtropical southern islands, Japan exhibits considerable climatic variation. Northern areas like Hokkaido experience significant snowfall and support plant life such as birch and pine trees, while southern islands such as Okinawa boast tropical climates with abundant palm trees and consistently warm temperatures, resembling the Maldives. This contrast vividly illustrates the nation's varied ecosystems. 7. Sunset times in Japan vary significantly due to its geographical location and the varying lengths of daylight hours throughout the year. During summer months, darkness typically falls around 7 to 8 p.m., whereas winter sunsets occur as early as 4 p.m. This phenomenon is attributable to Japan's latitude and its position relative to the sun. 8. Central heating is uncommon in many Japanese homes, but heated toilet seats are standard. This peculiar contrast reflects differing cultural priorities and preferences regarding comfort and energy efficiency. The heated seats provide a localized source of warmth in spaces frequently used and is viewed as a comfort feature. 9. Many Japanese restaurants, especially izakaya, implement a cover charge, often disguised as a mandatory otoshi. This otoshi is a small appetizer served upon seating, irrespective of customer preference, the price of which covers the cost of using the table or seat. While it may seem unusual to some, this practice is widely accepted in Japanese culinary culture. 10. Twitter holds significant popularity as a social networking service in Japan, surpassing Facebook in usage. This stands in contrast to global trends, highlighting cultural nuances in social media preferences. 11. Anime and manga enjoy widespread popularity among Japanese people across various age groups. While precise figures are debated, the general consensus suggests a substantial portion of the population engages with these forms of media. This acceptance is so widespread that consuming anime and manga isn't viewed as a particularly niche activity. 12. The Japanese word anime is derived from the English term animation. It encompasses all forms of animated media, including both domestic and international productions such as Disney films. This broad usage leads to potential misunderstandings when discussing anime with Japanese speakers. Specifying Japanese anime ensures clarity. 13. While Japanese lacks direct translations for kiss and sex, the English loanwords kisu and sekusu are commonly employed. While an older Japanese word for kiss, seppon, exists, it remains largely archaic and unfamiliar to most modern speakers. This illustrates the influence of English on Japanese vocabulary, particularly within modern contexts. 14. Japan enacted legislation mandating paid vacation time for employees. Prior to this legislation, many Japanese workers, due to cultural norms and work ethics, often refrained from taking their allotted vacation days, resulting in potential burnout and health concerns. The new law aims to improve work-life balance and address this issue. The minimum required vacation days are now 5 per year. 15. Many Japanese individuals identify with both Shinto and Buddhist practices, reflecting a syncretic religious landscape. This dual religious identification, rather than indicating a lack of religiosity, often reflects a pragmatic and adaptable approach to spiritual belief. 16. While Christianity constitutes a small minority in Japan, Christmas is widely celebrated. However, its religious significance is often secondary to its function as a secular holiday for couples and families. The unique Japanese Christmas traditions of KFC and strawberry cake reflect the influence of commercialization and cultural adaptation. 17. Traditionally, Japanese couples adopt a single surname upon marriage. While not legally mandated for international marriages, it remains a common practice in Japanese society. The choice of which surname to retain is generally influenced by social customs and family expectations. This convention reflects broader cultural values and family structures. 18. Capital punishment, specifically hanging, remains a legal method of execution in Japan. 19. Danchi, large-scale public housing complexes built in Japan, are often compared to Soviet-era Khrushchevkas. Built primarily during Japan's post-war reconstruction, they provided affordable housing for a growing urban population and reflect influences from foreign architectural styles. While their design and construction borrowed elements from Soviet-era architecture, they ultimately adapted these styles to fit Japanese requirements. Many still stand, providing relatively inexpensive living options. 20. The distinct 4 seasons of Japan hold profound cultural significance for the Japanese people. The seasonal changes, each accompanied by unique natural phenomena, are deeply ingrained in Japanese culture and aesthetics. The emphasis on the beauty and distinctiveness of these seasons forms a vital part of the Japanese identity and worldview.